Most people get this wrong when they think about starting a company in Switzerland. They assume it is only about paperwork and money. But here's the truth no one tells you. Switzerland is one of the most structured and strict business environments in the world. If you miss one legal step, your company can get delayed, rejected, or taxed in ways you did not expect. If you are planning to start a company in Switzerland in 2026, this guide will walk you through everything step by step in simple language. No legal confusion. No complicated jargon. Just a clear roadmap from idea to fully registered company. And here's why this matters. Switzerland is not just a beautiful country. It is also one of the strongest financial and business hubs in the world. It offers political stability, strong banking systems, and global credibility. But the system is precise. So you must do things in the correct order. In the next few minutes, you will learn how to choose the right business structure, register your company, handle capital requirements, open a bank account, manage taxes, and avoid the most common mistakes foreigners make. Let's start from the beginning. The first thing you need to understand is that Switzerland has different legal structures for companies. And choosing the right one is the foundation of everything. The most common structure is the sole proprietorship, called Einzelfirma. This is the simplest form of business. It is ideal for freelancers, consultants, and small service providers. The setup is fast, and costs are low. But here's the problem. You are personally responsible for all business debts. That means there is no separation between you and your business legally. Now the second major option is the limited liability company, called GmbH. This is one of the most popular choices for small and medium businesses. Why? Because it separates your personal assets from the company. If something goes wrong, your personal finances are generally protected. But here's where it gets interesting. A GmbH requires a minimum share capital of 20,000 Swiss francs. That money must be deposited into a business bank account before registration. Then there's the public limited company called AG. This is used by larger businesses or startups planning to raise investment. It requires at least 100,000 Swiss francs in share capital, with at least 50,000 paid up front. Now let's simplify this with an example. Alex is a freelance marketing consultant. He chooses an Einzelfirma because he wants low cost and simplicity. Sarah is building a tech startup. She chooses a GmbH because she wants protection and growth potential. And a large investor-backed company chooses an AG because they plan to scale and raise capital. Different goals, different structures. Now before you even register your company, you need to think about something very important. Your business name. In Switzerland, your company name must be unique and cannot mislead customers. It also must comply with legal naming rules depending on your structure. For example, if you are registering a GmbH, your company name must include EGmbH in the official name. Same for AG companies. Here's a common mistake. People choose names without checking trademark databases or business registers. Later, they face legal issues or are forced to change their brand. So always check availability first. Now let's move to the registration process. In Switzerland, company registration depends on your legal structure. If you are starting a sole proprietorship, you may only need to register with the commercial register if your revenue exceeds a certain threshold. Below that, it can be optional depending on the canton. But for GmbH and AG companies, registration is mandatory with the commercial register, known as Handelsregister. Here is the step-by-step process. First, you prepare your company documents. This includes company statutes, ownership structure, and capital confirmation. Second, you deposit the required share capital into a blocked bank account. The bank will give you confirmation of deposit. Third, you go to a notary. The notary officially certifies your incorporation documents. This is a required legal step in Switzerland. You cannot skip it. Fourth, your documents are submitted to the cantonal commercial register. Once approved, your company becomes a legal entity. Now here's something important most beginners don't realize. The registration process in Switzerland is highly formal. Everything must be precise. Even small errors in documents can cause delays. Now, let's talk about taxes, because this is where things get serious. Switzerland has a three-level tax system. You pay federal tax, cantonal tax, and municipal tax. This means your total tax rate depends on where your company is located. For example, Zurich, Zug, and Geneva all have different tax levels. Now here's where it gets interesting. Some cantons are known for low taxes. That is why many international companies choose locations like Zug. But tax optimization must be legal and properly structured. You cannot randomly choose a canton without considering your real business activity. Let's take an example. John starts a consulting business in Zurich. He pays standard tax rates. Sarah sets up her company in Zug because her advisor recommends it for lower taxes. Both are legal, but their planning differs. Now let's move to VAT, known in Switzerland as Mehrwertsteuer. If your annual revenue exceeds a certain threshold, you must register for VAT. You will then charge VAT on your services and submit periodic reports. Here's a mistake many new founders make. They forget to register for VAT on time and later face penalties. So always track your revenue from day one. Now, let's talk about business banking. To operate a company in Switzerland, you need a Swiss business bank account. This is essential, especially for GmbH and AG companies. Banks in Switzerland are very strict. They require detailed information about your business model, source of funds, and expected transactions. Here's a practical tip. Prepare a simple but clear business explanation before approaching the bank. Explain what your company does, who your clients are, and how money flows. Now here's a challenge for foreign entrepreneurs. Swiss banks are very careful with international clients due to strict compliance laws. So sometimes account approval can take time. This is normal. Now let's talk about residency and visas. If you are a foreign founder, you need to understand this clearly. Starting a company does not automatically give you the right to live in Switzerland. If you are from the EU or EFTA region, the process is easier. You can generally move and work more freely. But if you are from outside the EU, you may need a work permit or self-employment permit. Authorities will check if your business is economically beneficial to Switzerland. They look at things like job creation, innovation, and financial stability. Here's where most people fail. They assume company registration guarantees residency. That is not true. Immigration and business registration are separate systems. Now let's talk about costs. Starting an Einzelfirma is relatively cheap. You mainly pay registration fees if required. A GmbH is more expensive. You need at least 20,000 franc in capital, plus notary fees and registration costs. An AG is significantly more expensive due to higher capital requirements. But the real cost is not just setup. It is ongoing compliance. Accounting, taxes, legal filings, and banking fees all add up. Now let's talk about timelines. A sole proprietorship can be set up quickly, sometimes within a few days. A GmbH or AG can take several weeks depending on document preparation, bank approvals, and registration processing. Foreign founders should expect longer timelines due to extra verification. Now, let's go through common mistakes. The first mistake is choosing the wrong legal structure too quickly. People often pick the cheapest option without thinking long-term. The second mistake is ignoring capital requirements, especially for GmbH and AG companies. The third mistake is not preparing proper documentation for banks and authorities. The fourth mistake is mixing personal and business finances. And the fifth mistake is misunderstanding tax obligations across cantons. Now let's make this practical with two examples. Alex wants to start a small online coaching business. He chooses an Einzelfirma. He registers quickly and starts operating. Sarah wants to build a fintech startup. She chooses a GmbH. She deposits capital, works with a notary, registers the company, and opens a business account in Zurich. Both succeed, but their paths are different based on their goals. Now let's quickly summarize everything. First, choose your legal structure, Einzelfirma, GmbH, or AG. Second, choose a unique company name and verify availability. Third, prepare documents and capital, if required. Fourth, complete notary and registration with the commercial register. Fifth, open a Swiss business bank account. Sixth, register for taxes and VAT if applicable. Seventh, ensure compliance with immigration rules if you are a foreign founder. Now here is the final truth. Starting a company in Switzerland is not complicated, but it is precise. The system rewards preparation and accuracy. If you follow each step carefully, you can build a strong and internationally respected business. But if you rush or skip steps, you will face delays and complications. The opportunity is powerful though. Switzerland gives you credibility, stability, and access to global markets. If you found this guide helpful, like the video, leave a comment with your business idea, and subscribe for more step-by-step international business guides. Because the right knowledge at the right time can completely change your entrepreneurial journey.